Michael.
Yo, yo, yo. Men, it's what we do it for.
Men, boys, dudes, fellas, gents, lads.
That's what we find attractive.
We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Jet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you drinking?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why don't you spill your beans?
Welcome back.
To the motherfucking
film
scoop.
Back. On
We're
time.
back. Scheduled air time.
Yep.
It's what the people expect.
Yep.
Bad news, though. Kind of a light week.
Yeah. It is.
But one of the things I feel like there's a decent amount to talk about.
But I was also looking at it, and our past two episodes have both been about 3.5 hours long.
So we can be a little light.
We can do a light episode to even the odds.
Yeah.
So, probably will be on the shorter end, but because I don't have a big watch list, there's not a ton to talk about. So, and our last episodes have been really long, so
Yeah.
might have a light episode, but
Yeah.
but we're back and got some news to talk about. Motherfucking Wonka 2's in the works.
Wonka 2?
Wonka 2.
I did not.
Let's fucking go.
I guess I don't know why I didn't expect them to do a part 2, but yeah, that's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be awesome. I think about Wonka a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I have the songs on my phone, and whenever they come up, not skipping them.
Which songs?
Oh, I mean, A World of Your Own, Hatful of Dreams.
You got a little scrub on there.
No, I don't have
Yeah, that's the one stinker.
No, yeah, I mean it's fine in the film, but I don't partake in scrub.
Scrub. That's my impression.
If I had like someone in my car for the first time and I was on shuffle and then Scrub came on,
they'd
never talk to me again.
They're jumping out on the highway, dude.
So I can't take that risk.
Yeah.
But World of Your Own, Pure Imagination, Hatful of Dreams, that's the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was really hoping they'd make another one. So, because now the origin's over, and now he's just Willy Wonka, and we can see him in his chocolate factory.
Yeah, it's got to be tough though. I feel like Tim Tom is the hot commodity, dude.
He is, but I mean, his schedule will open up eventually.
He's coming all over the place.
Yeah. Zendaya and Anne Hathaway have been cast in Nolan's next film.
Gotta tell you, not bad looking ladies there.
No, not too hard on the eyes.
Yeah. If I can't have naked men, I'll accept that.
That's the next best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to really comment on it without knowing what the film is, but they're good actresses, so
Yeah.
nice. I mean, I don't know.
Coolio.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So now I think so far it's confirmed to be Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway.
They just can't keep Tom away from the dead,
You
dude.
just can't do it. And there were a couple trailers, but I didn't watch them, so that's all for news. But I got my trivia.
All right.
Aragorn is the true king of where?
The location?
Well, I mean, where is he the king of?
Shit.
I didn't know there was multiple ways to
My
answer
first
that.
instinct is just the king of Middle Earth, but I don't know what the exact.
Well, that would
place.
be incorrect, Carl.
Yeah. I don't know.
Man,
I don't know.
you're a fucking idiot. Gondor.
Gondor. Of course. Classic.
Only
Gond.
the king of Gondor may command me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And he shows him the sword.
Yep.
God,
He's
that's
a
such a good
badass.
fucking movie.
What are the names of the three farmers in Fantastic Mr. Fox?
No clue. Not
Wow.
gonna get that one.
Bogus, Bunce, and Bean.
Say again.
Bogus, Bunce, and Bean.
Bogus, Bunce, and Bean.
Yep.
The triple Bs.
Yep.
You know, I've only seen Mr. Fox once.
Me too.
I need to fix that, dude.
Yeah. Guess the film by the cast. Ray Fiennes.
Okay.
Rami Malek.
Okay.
Lea Seydoux.
Rami Malek. Ray Fiennes. And Lea Seydoux. That makes me think it's a Wes movie, but I don't think Rami's been in any Wes movies. I'm picturing his really tight skin on his big face.
Mm-hmm. The absurdly rigid chin.
Dude, he's got the hardest chin in the books. It's not the Menu. I don't think I know.
Time to Die.
Oh my God, Ray Fiennes. Oh, he is. He's Q, isn't he?
He's in all of them. He's Q.
Yeah, I totally forgot he was in those movies.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Damn. 0 for 3.
Clean sweep, dude.
That's nuts.
That's what the people want. That's what the people expect. All right, I've got my trivia.
Okay.
Guess the movie by the quote.
Okay.
You have the right to suck my dick, motherfucker.
I remember this being said. I'll just throw out a couple that it could be. Superbad.
Nope.
Oh, it's 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's when they get their first arrest. in
Yeah,
the
he
park.
forgets the Miranda rights.
Yeah.
And just starts humping the guy. Yeah, dude. All right, I have a guess the movie by the cast.
Mm-hmm.
You got Alan Richardson. Will Arnett. Noel Fisher. Johnny Knoxville.
Okay, well, I'm only aware of Alan Richardson being in 2 movies. And that would be, well, what were the other people?
Will Arnett. Noel Fisher.
I know he's in the new Guy Ritchie movie that I hated. And then Reacher.
Dude, he's so fucking huge in Reacher.
Yeah.
I thought Reacher was a TV show.
It is.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I know him in.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who Noel Fisher is. I mean, fuck that guy. I don't know who that is. Johnny Knoxville's in Bad Grandpa.
He is.
Is it Bad Grandpa?
It's not Bad Grandpa.
Is it? I don't know. I was gonna say that movie about like the ride or like the carnival or whatever.
Oh, Action Point?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
TMNT. The Michael Bay TMNT.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's true. He did do that.
Yep. He's ref.
Yeah.
You got
I tried to
DJ Mikey.
I tried to delete that film from my from my memory bank.
All right, and then my last one is what year was the movie or the film Wanted released?
2000. Ooh.
I came up with some good ones, dude.
I know it's late 2000s. I'm gonna say 2008.
Damn, you got it, dude.
Hell,
That's crazy.
fucking yeah.
You saw that movie once and didn't even really like it, and you know
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's James.
It is James.
I can't.
But
I
it's
can't
young
forget
James.
It is
It's
young
before
James.
before. No.
No. All right. Real reveal. Go.
Give me. Give me lead actor and genre.
Lead actor, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Fuck.
Genre, comedy, adventure, mystery.
Yeah, I was going for a new technique, ripping off a high one to try and catch it early. Freddie Prinze Jr. Unfamiliar to me.
See, that's funny because if I got that, I would instantly know the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the genre again?
Comedy, adventure, mystery.
Comedy.
I feel like everyone
adventure.
listening knows the movie now too.
Probably. If like I just don't. I don't think I know who Freddie Prinze Jr. is. Comedy, adventure,
Mystery.
Fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. Who the hell is that guy? Give me words in the title, I guess.
1.
Shit. Give me the year.
2002.
(2002) comedy, mystery, adventure.
Yep.
Holy shit. Give me the second actor.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Also not good.
See, that's...
Give me the third actor.
You're just dumb. Matthew Lillard.
Okay. I do know Matthew Lillard. It's fucking Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
Damn. So he plays... What was the guy's name again?
Freddie Prinze Jr. is...
Freddie plays Fred?
Yeah. And that's the only movie he ever did.
Oh, see, I never looked
and
up
Sarah
the
Michelle
cast.
Gellar, like... the only movie she did was Scooby-Doo that like people know.
I know her. She was Buffy, right?
Think
Pretty
so.
sure, yeah. That's how I know her. I just totally spaced on her name. But yeah.
5,
Good pick, dude.
48. The old 83 burger is what you just got.
We'll see. Usually when I do bad like that, you'll come back and do like almost as bad.
That's a new... I'm not getting 83. That's a new high.
We'll see.
That's crazy. All right. Release year.
2019.
Lead actor.
Jason Schwartzman.
The fuck? 2019. The hell's he in? Jason Schwartzman was a lead actor in 2019. You're making stuff up.
No, dude, I'm as serious as a heart attack right now, dude.
What the fuck? I only like when you think of Jason Schwartzman, you instantly think of Wes Anderson.
Exactly.
But Wes Anderson didn't make a movie in 2019.
Or did he?
Well, Isle of Dogs was 2018.
Was it?
Yes. You're trying to get me to waste points on a guess.
I'm just having you think, dude.
He made one in 2018 and he made one in 2021. He didn't make one in 2019. So I don't know
So
what in
says
the
you.
fuck Jason Schwartzman was. Okay, give me second build actor. Have I seen this?
Yes. J.K. Simmons.
Okay, it's okay. So it's animated. It's got to be because those two have never seen each other. in real life ever. It's got to be animated. 2019. Yeah.
That's two attractive people, I tell you.
Jason Schwartzman,
Got,
J.K. Simmons.
Blade Runner 2049 on right here. Got the old Anna Day and Ryan Gosling on the screen, and just peak form people. Are you cup and sack? That's not allowed. You can't power up in the middle of it. Oh, okay, there you go.
What the fuck?
I need to be able to see that.
Throwing out accusations,
dude. If you start cup and sack, you're powering up. That's not allowed, dude. You can't do that.
No,
it gives you an edge.
I would never cup sack during reveal. That's not fair. I had another idea, but I don't think he's in that. And it's not 2019. Dude. Okay, so let me pull up the list.
Just to fill the dead air here, I think Cash might have a little story about a bad time he just had at Moe's, perhaps.
I don't.
No? You weren't going to tell him about that?
It's not something I can audibly explain.
Okay.
What was funny about it was physical. I can't do it audibly.
I guess.
There's no point of bringing it up. What am I at?
You're at 50-something. 57.
Oh, yeah, I did pull 2 actors. Fuck.
I want you to know, a lot of space to play with.
What's my rating?
Your rating is a 3.
It's Klaus.
Holy shit, how did you do that? How did you deduct that?
I remember giving Klaus a 3.
Alright, whatever. Pull out your phone and just skydive on Klaus? I mean, sure.
Yep. Buddy can't stand losing. He'll just start just acting like everyone's cheating.
All right. The next one.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for the fucking gold again. I'm gonna go lead actor and genre.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay. Now we're cooking.
Crime
buddy.
action thriller.
Crime action thriller. Could be a couple things. It's really narrowed down. It could be End of Watch. Could be Prisoners. Could be... I don't think you would pick The Guilty because it's poop. Give me number of words so I can just ace this real quick. It's Prisoners.
It is not. Fuck you. You're dumb.
Are you messing with me?
No.
Oh my god.
You're stupid.
It's fucking Zodiac.
Nope, you're stupid again.
What?
Yep.
The fuck is going on? How many one-word crime movies is this guy in?
More than 2, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to rack up points just on guesses.
Yep.
He did, what was the genre again?
Crime action thriller.
I feel like it wouldn't be Nightcrawler because you've already asked me about Nightcrawler on here.
I never gave you Nightcrawler.
Yeah, you did.
No, you guessed Nightcrawler.
Oh, is it Nightcrawler?
Are you guessing it?
Yes.
No.
Fuck.
No, I gave you a hint one time and said it's something forgettable, and then you guessed Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah,
and I made fun of you for it.
That's what happened. Holy mackerel.
15 points on guesses. That's
They all meet the criteria, though.
Maybe.
Not maybe, they do.
Maybe.
Jake Gyllenhaal is the guy. Crime, action, thriller. Those all involve crime. I feel like Letterboxd is leaning on action, and they're definitely thrillers. They're all one-word titles. What the hell, Jake? It's Prince of Persia. No, I'm messing with you.
I don't know.
I'm kind of at a loss here. I'm trying to run through Jake's catalog. There's got to be a movie that maybe I'm not a fan of that I'm not thinking of. Definitely not. It's not Roadhouse. It's not fucking Bubble Boy. It's not Donnie Darko. It's not The Guilty. It's not Zodiac. It's not Prisoners. It's not fucking any of that bullshit. Jesus Christ. Not Source Code. That's 2 words.
Maybe it's hyphenated.
It's not Jarhead. No way Source Code is hyphenated.
Maybe it is.
You're fucking me in the ass with that.
You don't know.
I swear to God, if it's Source Code, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Maybe it is.
No, I think you're playing me. I think you're playing me for a fool. I think you're trying to bend me over in front of all your friends. Which that's for later. The only other thing I can think of is Source Code.
If only there were other things you could guess.
Is it Source Code?
No.
God damn it.
If only there were other things you could guess.
Give me the year.
2022.
What crime did we... Oh my God. It's fucking Ambulance.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. That fucking dog movie.
So...
Oh, God.
I'm curious why you heard crime, action, thriller and guessed Zodiac.
Because there's crime?
There's no action in that movie, Carl.
I feel like Letterboxd is loose with what they call action.
No.
But it's definitely crime and a thriller.
Yeah.
I was
but it's
looking
not
for
action.
anything, but that wasn't like my first guess. I wasn't like Zodiac. I instantly guessed Prisoners.
Even Prisoners, like, action is generous.
There's a lot, like, when I go through my genres on Letterboxd, they throw shit in that's, like, just kind of there.
Yeah.
And there's, like, you know, there's chases in Prisoners.
31.
There's fights.
43. Adding up this damn grocery list of points.
Get the little receipt out.
Did I add that wrong? 20, 31. Nope. Yep, you had 68.
Doing better. Doing better.
Is that what he calls it?
I mean, it's the definition of better. It's exactly what better is.
All right. Give me
All right.
director.
Mikhail R. Roscom.
Awesome. Give me give me actor, lead actor.
Tom Hardy.
Should have done that instead. Or release year.
Release year 2014.
Have I seen it?
Yes.
2014, Tom Hardy did
This is your husband we're talking about.
I think Legend was 2015. Locke was 2013.
I want a leather gun holster like that, dude. That'd be so
I want
sick.
everything Ryan Gosling has. Tom Hardy. Tom. You dirty boy.
Some would even say, Mrs. Chen, I got a parasite or something.
Yeah.
That's the guy we're talking about.
That. I'm not exactly sure what year The Drop came out. It was around 2014. I feel like it was like a tad earlier than that. Unless I'm tripping and Locke was 2014. Okay, so I'm at...
You're at 65.
Yeah. So I have 3 points would tie it, so I don't want to do that. I need to take a guess. I'm going to guess Locke.
Nope.
Fuck. Is it The Drop?
That's The Drop.
You bastard.
Thank God,
movie
dude.
You know I hate.
I couldn't let you clear that W, dude.
Oh, man.
I can't be the only idiot here, dude.
Well, you are.
I don't know. Looks like the score's 1-1 right now.
I wonder what the all-time record is.
We're talking about now, dude. You're over here living in the past like a weirdo. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. All right, you have a Letterboxd review?
I do.
Okay.
You want me to rip it off first?
Yep.
All right. This is from Patrick. 3.5 stars. Ben knows what the people want. Movies about Matt Damon being good at his job.
Air?
It is air.
Mine's from Jay, 3 stars. Do you think Hobbs and Shaw ever explored each other's bodies?
That's in the director's cut, dude. I gotta watch it.
There was also a review for Hobbs and Shaw that I haven't seen the movie in a long time, so I don't know if he's referencing something in the movie. But it just says, I like men and boys.
Cash. I don't think he's referencing anything. I think he's just telling you what he's about, dude.
Oh,
He's just let it fly.
yeah, he probably is. Time to get into the Watcherino. Only a couple of things, and 2 of them are the main points of the episode. Basically, one thing on the watch list, which was the new Zodiac documentary.
Yeah.
Which was called This is the Zodiac Speaking. And I don't typically watch true crime things. I think it's kind of lame, and it's not very interesting to me, but I'm interested in the Zodiac because of David Fincher, because I love that movie. So
Did it kind of give you what you were looking for?
yeah, I mean,
Or do you think like the world that David Fincher's like created kind of gave you like, I should check this out more? Because that's happened to me before, where like I'll watch something like that and be like, I need to check out this stuff, and then I'm like,
well, I mean, I definitely watched it because I like the Zodiac movie. But there's just a lot more information that's come to light now in the documentary, because this family, basically, in the movie Zodiac, they hint heavily that they think that the Zodiac is Arthur Lee Allen.
yes,
And they can't say it for sure, but it's sort of an ambiguous ending, but also like it's pretty, like most people think it's him.
you're talking about
And
in
then-
the movie.
Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the documentary, it's the same way. And it's framed like Arthur Lee Allen was the Zodiac, but they just couldn't. Like, they couldn't get hard evidence on him. They couldn't find a murder weapon. They couldn't do anything legally that proves he was the Zodiac. But it's like, if you have common sense, he was the Zodiac.
Yeah, the stuff you were telling me about, it was a observe and report moment of this guy fucking did it.
Yeah, there's just so many things that line up. There's so many coincidences. Because I was saying Arthur Lee Allen was basically like a stepdad to these kids. And so the documentary is interviewing these kids, and they're giving you all this information about them that, like, no one had ever heard before. And there's, incidences of the kids, like, on a trip with him, and then all of a sudden he'd park the car and leave for an hour and come back to the car with blood on his hands at the beach. And then that same day at the beach, some girl got killed, and they never found out who did it. It's like, gee, I wonder.
Dude, that's all hearsay.
Yeah, so they have, like, tons of accounts like that.
Yeah.
And also something they didn't... I don't think they went into in the movie, but... Actually, they might have, but... Arthur Lee Allen was convicted of child molestation.
I feel like
he went to jail for 4 years for it. So
I feel like they touch
guaranteed
on that.
Bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's still technically up in the air if he's the Zodiac or not, but he's a guaranteed scumbag.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to just, like, connect the dots and, like, someone who's capable of that is probably also capable of this.
Yeah, I think you could probably look at that and think, this guy's kind of a wacko.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. It's only 3 episodes, which I liked because a lot of documentaries can drag stuff out, make it like 8 episodes.
Yeah, they try to stretch it, and then like, if you don't have the material, just like cut it. It's fine.
Yeah, 3 episodes, only like 45 minutes each, so sort of just like a movie length. But it was I don't watch a lot of documentaries. That's why I don't give them ratings, because I don't watch enough to feel confident in giving one a rating. Because when I watch a normal movie, I feel like I have a good basis of, like, what I like in movies, how I like them to be made. And when I watch a really bad one, I can give it a bad rating and say why I don't like it.
Yeah.
But documentaries are, like, different because they're intended to be educational. They're supposed to teach you stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like you're obviously going to be biased. Like, I think I watched a documentary called Pandora's Promise about, like, nuclear energy. To someone, that's, like, the worst thing they could think of. But I like the subject material. I found interesting, so I feel like it's hard to, like, I can watch a movie about something I'm not super interested in, and they can, like, visually capture me and, like, tell this story and have these characters. But with a documentary, that you've got to be kind of matter of fact, and you can't really, deviate from what actually happened. So I feel like the subject of it dictates if you like it a lot more.
Yeah, like, I could watch a documentary on Batman or something, and it could be, objectively a bad documentary, poorly made, if you ask someone who watches a lot of them, but I wouldn't know.
Like the Batman and Bill documentary.
Yeah.
Like that, I really like that documentary.
Yeah, I really like the documentary. I can't tell you how good of a documentary it is, because I don't watch a lot of them, but I thought that the information in it was really cool.
Yeah.
But you can also find documentaries that are on topics you wouldn't normally care about, but they're so well made that it presents it in an interesting way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I binged it all in, like, one day. I mean, it's only 3 episodes, but
yeah.
But it was cool.
That Arthur Lee Allen guy seemed like a real piece of work.
Yeah, he was a real jerk. Did you have anything?
No, just
right.
The 2 main.
Then we're just getting straight into the first review of the week, which is Anora.
Anora.
Yep.
Got some bad news for you, fellas. And, spoiler alert, not enough male nudity.
Not nearly enough.
I don't think I saw penis. I got a glance maybe once.
Yeah. Like a quick little flash.
Yeah. How long was the movie?
2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah. A .5 penis in 2 hours and 25 minutes?
Not acceptable.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get that out there, clear the air. Not enough penis.
Yep. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anora, Sean Baker's new film. I'm not sure how I feel about Sean Baker. I feel like other people seem to like him a little more than I do. I like the Florida Project, but I think it's getting overrated. I know my buddy Alan has it really high. He has it in his top 10 A24, and he likes it more than Lady Bird.
Whoa. And
I just can't. I can't do that.
I respect that decision. Because wasn't he the one that was like, why is Lady Bird different from other coming of age movies?
That wasn't him.
Oh, well, like the Florida Project is very different, I think, than like a lot of stuff that you see. Lady Bird is too. Like Lady Bird is a really well done movie. I prefer Lady Bird, but like I respect that love for the Florida Project. But he also did Red Rocket, which I didn't know, which you've seen. I didn't watch it though.
Yeah, Red Rocket is like similar to the Florida Project in the way it's made, but I find the Florida Project very like sweet and endearing, and not that about Red Rocket. I think it's like it's just kind of a hard watch because there's basically like a big age gap thing going on between a old man and a young girl, and it's just I don't know. It's hard for me to like enjoy it or connect with the characters really at all.
It's still like a slice of lifestyle movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, from what I remember, it's Simon Rex plays a washed up porn star and goes back to his hometown and then just like starts dating a kid.
Oh, dude. That's the classic bait and switch, dude. Are you kidding me?
That's what I remember.
The whole switcheroo. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think she was like 16 or 17 or something. I don't know. But I just found it really weird and not fun. I mean, I could rewatch it maybe and see if that changes. But I don't remember liking it at all. I haven't seen Tangerine. So I like the Florida Project. Don't like Red Rocket. Haven't seen Takeout. So Anora is my favorite of his. I think I have the Florida Project at the same rating, but I think Anora's better.
What do you have the Florida Project at?
Well, actually, let me get into. I have the Florida Project at a 4. My initial review is I thought it was super fun. Obviously, Mikey Madison is the front runner for lead actress. I'd be surprised if anyone else wins. Unless something else comes out in the next 2 months that is better, which I just don't see.
Yeah.
I've heard some people, like my buddy Alan, who said that he thinks Anya Taylor-Joy and Kristen Stewart are ahead of Mikey Madison to him this year, which I think's malarkey.
What were they in this year?
Come on, buddy.
I don't remember seeing Kristen Stewart in anything.
Love
Oh,
Lies
for
Bleeding.
fucking Love Lies Bleeding. Yeah. Okay. That. No, I still think it's Mikey Madison.
I think it's malarkey to even have them in the same conversation as Mikey Madison. And I like Furiosa, and I like Anya's performance, but I don't think they're even close.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
so either.
I think it's a fucking. She's dog walking them. Like I don't think it's even close.
I'm trying to run back to Love Lies Bleeding because I kind of forgot a lot about that movie, but I do think that Mikey Madison's kind of got the hold over him. She's got him in a leg lock.
Yeah, I think
she's doing an accent in that movie, right? Like she doesn't normally sound like that even.
Yep, she's doing a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, so she's doing an accent. She's saying shit in Russian. Like, yeah, I think she's got it.
Yeah, no, she's locked in. She's locked in. She's wired in for lead actress. One thing I really liked about it was it's sort of like every time you think you have a grip on like what the movie is, it changes. And I've said that about other movies before, and I really like it. Because the first act, by the way, this is going to be a spoiler discussion for both Anora and the Penguin Season 1 when we get to it. But the first act is like showing you Anora's life and like her friends, what she does for a living, and meeting this Russian guy, Ivan.
Yeah, kind of like how she carries herself. And...
Yeah, and then they like meet up outside of work, and they start this like fake relationship, sort of.
They have premarital relations.
Yeah, that he's paying her to have, and then it seems like they sort of start to form a connection and just like on a whim go get married.
Yeah.
And I thought that scene was really cool. There's like a montage when they're getting married, and they play this fucking
You got
song.
the tune, dude?
Dude, I'm gonna find my fucking phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this tune.
They're doing this like modernized Pretty Woman style thing.
This shit right here.
I mean, look at me right now, dude. I'm about to start shaking my ass in here, dude.
That shit, like, it almost, I don't know. There's some scenes in movies or just like movies overall that can kind of just like elevate itself above a movie and make you feel like you're like transcending movies.
Yeah,
and you're like, it's hard to put into words, but there's certain things like when I watch Lord of the Rings, when I watch Interstellar, like when you're watching the docking sequence of Interstellar, like you're not on Earth. You're
docking.
You're so fucking locked in and in another place. And that's sort of, I don't think that scene in Anora is as good as the docking scene, obviously, but it gave me that feeling like I'm
there.
I'm experiencing something incredible right now.
Yeah.
So the first act is that, and then in the second act, these guys show up at Ivan's house. He wakes up with a boner and goes and gets the door.
Well, they're mid-sex.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he pulls his pants up.
Walks
got a
over with
massive
huge
hard
boner. And basically, his parents are like mad at him and are coming to get him, and he runs away. And then so now these like Armenians are stuck with Anora because they don't want her to leave because they find out that they got married. So now they need Anora there so she can sign the papers for them to get divorced. So she's like stuck with these three Armenians trying to find Ivan, and then at the end of the movie, like towards the end, they find Ivan, and basically he's a huge piece of shit. Yeah. And he's sort of what most people probably assumed at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he's just trying, like, he's doing crazy shit to just, like, rebel against his parents, and he's just, like, a big man-child, basically.
Yeah. Rebelling against his parents, but also, like, he's just immature and doesn't like know or care what he's doing,
Yeah.
and he just wants to like have fun or whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't care about like the impacts of anything.
Yeah. So the second act is like it really reminded me of a Coen Brothers movie or a Safdie's movie.
Yes.
Where
I get that 100%.
it's like this super oddball situation with Anora being this like super angry and aggressive and
you got like the Three Stooges there to try and keep her still.
yeah, dude, the comedy in Anora is so fucking good. It's a lot of stuff that is not easy to like quote and say specifically things that you found funny. They're kind of just like these physical things when you watch the movie. But there's a big running joke with like them trying to keep Anora there and not let her leave. So the Igor like grabs her and starts holding her, and she like bites him in the neck, and she breaks the other guy's nose.
Yeah.
And
like Igor first grabs her, she bites him, and then he starts like tying her up, and then the other guy comes and is like, "What are you doing? This is some girl. Like, why are you tying her up?" He's like, she's gonna attack you, bro." And he's like, "She's fine." And he starts to untie her, and then she breaks his nose. And then the third guy comes in and sees her tied up with him too, and he's like, "What are you guys doing? Untie her."
Yeah.
He's like, "Bro, she's dangerous."
Yeah. There's this big running joke about how like dangerous she is and how they get fucked up whenever she's not tied up. But the dialogue is so like Sean Baker is in that Safdie's tier where their movies feel so real. They feel so natural, and they don't feel like actors. When you're watching Anora, it doesn't feel like actors. It just feels like a documentary. Mm-hmm. And that's the same way I feel about the Safdies, and that's the same way all of Sean Baker's movies have always felt to me. Even with Red Rocket, which I didn't like because of the story, but the filmmaking's the same way, and I feel like that's such a great indicator of a talented director, because when you think about how fake movies are, like behind the scenes making a movie, like taking that and turning it in and making it look like something real is really hard. Even great movies that you love don't like very rarely have that, feeling in it.
Yeah.
So I really respect Sean Baker for that. And also, it seems like he has this recurring theme in his movie about, well, not theme necessarily, but like, it seems like he really likes to explore, like sex work and sort of lower class people. And sort of shed light on them in a different way than most people see them. Like, the Florida Project is about a group of people that most of us will never interact with. They're just those type of people we just see from a distance and would never like talk to them and get to know them.
Yeah.
And he seems like he's very concerned with showing us them and getting us to relate a little more to them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's depicting them as like people.
Yeah.
A lot of times, they're like you look at them, you're like gross, and you'll see stuff like even in Breaking Bad, Wendy, she's like ick when she comes on, but like Wendy's still a person.
Yeah.
She's just trying to get her root beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I see that. I don't know what his other work is, but from Florida Project to this, it does seem like that. Like even when Anora is going through her job, which she's a, I don't know if she's a stripper.
She's an exotic dancer, technically.
Yeah, I think that's the preferred nomenclature.
Well, I mean, they're different things. An exotic dancer isn't a prostitute.
I said stripper.
Well,
I think stripper
Yeah,
and
a
exotic
stripper
dancer
and
is
exotic dancer is the same thing.
Yeah, no, she is a prostitute.
Well, that's what I was a little confused about it at the beginning because she works at this place where she's just a stripper, and then Ivan like asks her if she ever works like when she's not there, or however he worded it, and then she goes to his house and just like fucks him. And I was like, so is this a rare occasion for this one guy, or it seemed kind of like she does it all the time?
Yeah, the way
but she also got really offended when they called her a prostitute later in the movie, which I feel like if she was, maybe she wouldn't have been offended by it.
Well, I don't think you like still like being called a prostitute, even if that is what's going on.
That's like a very like PC way to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know why a prostitute would get mad at someone calling them a prostitute. That's not like a slur. Like that's that's what she is.
I don't know. It's like I think it's just like a dirty word. Like
that's the thing. I don't think it is. I think that's the most polite way you could say it. What more polite way could you say prostitute?
I don't escort.
I don't think it's any more polite than prostitute, but sure.
I don't know. It does.
It gave me the impression that she doesn't think she's a prostitute.
Yeah. At first, I was like, maybe she's because he's coming to the club, he's getting private dances. She sees he's got a lot of money, so now she's like
catering to him.
Yeah. But when she goes, it seems so transactional. Like she's like, you ready to do this? Like you paid for this amount and stuff like that. So it seems like it's something she's definitely done before. Maybe she doesn't do it often. It's not like her main occupation. Yeah. But like if the time comes and she can like, they're like, hey, I can pay you a lot of money for this. It's like, okay.
Yeah. That's kind of how it seemed to me. It seemed like something she probably doesn't do often, and that's why she was offended when they called her a prostitute.
Yeah, that would make more sense if it was like a rare kind of thing.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
We were talking about how like Sean Baker likes to shine light on sex workers, and then I was talking about how she's a stripper mainly. And then we got into the stripper prostitute thing. But like when she's at the strip club and interacting with guys there, and especially her coworkers, like they're talking like normal people, but they'll have like their boobs out and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like to me, that like nudity like would make me uncomfortable. Like I'm like, this is kind of weird, but like they're like they're there to do their job and they're talking.
Yeah,
like,
you see them go
people.
Go out the back and like have a cigarette break and talk to their manager about scheduling.
Yeah,
like having off on Monday, and it's like everyone does at their job. Yeah, it's just kind of like interesting to see people in this profession like talk like that.
Yeah,
which is really cool. But I guess I was also trying to say I just really respect Sean Baker for sticking to what it seems like he's really interested in or passionate about telling, like these stories he really wants to tell. Because when you've gotten to like his level, he probably gets like a ton of offers for a ton of different things. Like, maybe not blockbusters. Like, I don't know if Sean Baker's getting asked to do the new Jurassic World.
Yeah.
But he's definitely being asked to do, like, other things.
More mainstream type stuff.
Yeah, things that could make him a lot of money. And it seemed... And I'm sure Anora was his, like, biggest budget by far. But he's still just sticking to his guns and not really compromising. And I love that. And even if I don't love Red Rocket, like that's just super cool seeing a director have like this original style and like recurring element of his films that he's not getting rid of. And I think Anora is like I'd probably call it like his magnum opus. I feel like it's a lot of the things that make Sean Baker special is in Anora. And because I think there's so much heart, which is one of the things I always pick up in his movies. Because like you said, you first meet Anora and she's just like this stripper, and she has like this Brooklyn accent. She can seem a little like,
yeah, she's loud and, you know, not afraid to like just like talk shit and stuff.
yeah. But then you see her sort of like get attached to this guy, and and at first you don't really know if she's attached to him or if she just likes his money and wants to, like, keeps kind of pulling him closer just for his money.
Yeah.
But it seems like later in the movie, you see that it's not his money, and like she seems to care about him.
Yeah, there's definitely a bond that forms. Like, one of the scenes that I think stands out to me is her, throughout the movie, this guy is like power bombing her during sex and like coming in like a few minutes, and she's like, you know, you paid for like a full hour, we can go again, and like offering that, and then she's like, you know, like she starts like, you know, slow down a little bit, like we can both enjoy this like more, and starts like kind of like trying to deepen that connection, that physicality with him. So she's definitely connecting with him more as their relationship continues.
Yeah. And you, when we left, you were saying how you didn't want to come across like the old guy that's like, why are they showing so much nudity and all that? But you were
Well,
like,
honestly,
I just don't get why they showed had to show so much sex. And I kind of saw it as that was them showing us that Ivan doesn't really, like, the only thing he sees value in her for is sex.
Yeah, like,
and he doesn't actually want her to be his girlfriend and actually care about her on an emotional level, and like that's all he's interested in. So that's why they're doing it all the time, and in a very like, he looks like he's having a great time and she's not kind of way.
Yeah. No, I don't care how much of a pussy this makes me sound, but I do assess, like, was this needed in movies? And sex is just one of those things. Like, if you have like a very exposed like sex sequence, so I'm like, you know, did you really need that? It's like one of my biggest problems with Poor Things is that it's Emma Stone just getting railed for a long time.
I'm not normally like that.
Poor Things is a big extreme. That's why I was just using it as an example.
That's a big extreme because they showed, like, I was just getting annoyed by seeing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not because it was sex, it's because it was the same thing. If, like, I made the analogy in our Poor Things video, if you show me Emma Stone eating cereal for 30 minutes straight, I'm going to get annoyed that I'm watching her eat cereal over and over again. It's just like, because it's repetitive, not because it's nudity. Like, that's not the issue. So, and in Anora, it felt like it served a purpose.
Yeah, I initially said that, and then as I like thought about the movie, obviously when she's at the strip club, there's going to be nudity.
Yeah,
that's what they do. And then, like, obviously, I feel like each time they hook up, there is a different kind of interaction. It's the initial one where it's like he's really excited, you know, they're done in like a few seconds, and then, you know, she starts kind of like coming around on each one. That there's a different like feeling each time they hook up, and it isn't a ton, you know.
Yeah,
but it is something.
There's a lot in a small section of the movie. But in the grand scheme of the movie, it's not that much.
Yeah.
Because it's only in like the first act. So there's probably a stretch of like 25 minutes where there's like 8 sex scenes.
Yeah.
But it's only in that 25 minutes. So, but yeah, that definitely didn't bother me. I thought it was integral to the film. I enjoy the second act the most, I think.
I agree.
it's the one I found the most fun. That it was the funniest, the most entertaining. That sequence in Ivan's house is like super long.
Yeah.
It is a really long sequence, and it started to really I started to really notice it towards the end of it, and I was like, dude, this sequence is like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, dude, and then from the start of that, from the dudes getting there to them getting in the car, it's funny.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire run, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoy the second act. I do really enjoy the first act too, though. But I feel like one of my things with this movie is I liked it a lot on first watch. But I feel like on rewatch, it may suffer in the first act now that I know Ivan's full arc and who he is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that first act is you buying into this relationship.
Yeah.
So
like even that scene,
knowing where it goes and who he is, like I feel like I can't not think about that.
Yeah, like even that scene you were talking about with the song, when they're doing the montage when they get married, like in my head I'm be like, none of this matters.
Right. That's kind of what I'm worried about on rewatch. I do want to rewatch it, see how that plays out, but I think the second act will always work, regardless.
Because it's so funny.
Ivan's not in it, and it's so comedy based.
Yeah,
and it's so fucking funny. I remember one of the funniest things to me was Toros in his like church doing that ceremony.
He's doing a baptism for a baby, dude.
Yeah, he checked his phone and like saw the the marriage certificate, and the fuck did he even do when he was
I think he said shit. Yeah. He went, shit. And then like put his phone down.
Yeah.
He's in a church and he's like sitting there. He's got these robes on. I think it's like a traditional Catholic baptism. I could be completely wrong. Mm-hmm. But he's got these like priest robes on and he's holding this baby and he pulls out his phone and goes, shit. And then starts freaking out.
Yeah, Toros was super funny.
Yeah. Him having to roll up the robes to get in his pocket for his phone was so funny.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of like natural comedy too that sort of shows up as you film and not necessarily stuff in the script.
It's nothing that I would ever think to like write. Like one of the things I started dying laughing at is Toros is on the phone with those guys like freaking out, yelling. And then they start trying to hold down Anora, and like they gag her, and there's all this like commotion. And he's like, "Are you guys fucking killing her?" He's like, "What's going on?" Like when I say it doesn't sound funny, but in that sequence, it's so funny seeing Toros because he's freaking out about everything.
Yeah,
he's losing his mind. People are like freaking out that they're married, and it's so funny.
Yeah, the comedy really worked for me. The third act was my least favorite.
I agree.
It's when they find Ivan and his parents find him. They realize, or Anora realizes, like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck about me, and he's just like a stupid kid, and he's been wasting my time. And there's a point where Anora says she's gonna take half their money because they got married and she didn't sign a prenup, so like she's entitled to half their money. And then his mom just like bullies her. And
yeah, she just like intimidates
she's
her.
She's like, "We'll fuck you up." Like, that's simple as that. I mean, like
simple as that.
Like, you don't want to do that. You're gonna get fucked up if you do that. And then she doesn't do it, and she goes and gets the divorce. And that was one part where I was a little disappointed because I thought, like, yeah, she's going to say that. Like, she's going to say, yeah, we'll fuck you up. But, like, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like Anora was just at a spot where she had nothing to lose and didn't really care about anything anymore.
Well, they also depict Anora as a fighter basically throughout the whole movie. Like, she's gonna say whatever she wants to say. She's not gonna do what you tell her. Like, the only time you really start to see her settle down is when she's with Ivan and starts to like him a lot. So it makes sense for her to be like, "Fuck you, kiss my ass. I'm taking your money."
Yeah.
For as a character, but I think as the events, the way I read it is as the events have transpired to that moment, she's kind of accepting that Ivan didn't want anything in the first place, and is kind of done fighting. Like, there's so much has happened. She's been all over the place. They've been up for like 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And she's just like, fuck it, dude.
It's the most depressing section of the movie, seeing like Anora seem to really care about him and trying to talk to him and understand what's going on, and he's not talking to her, and he's super drunk and high and all this shit, and it's just not very fun to watch. Whereas the first two acts are really fun.
Yeah.
This one's more just like kind of sad, and but towards the end of the film, you get like Anora and Igor have been butting heads the whole time because he was tasked with like keeping her in the house, and she wasn't a fan of his methods of keeping her in the house. And so she's been shitting on him the whole time, and like he seems like a really nice guy that just kind of got put in the situation that he didn't want to be in.
Well, throughout the movie, it's very clear that Igor likes her. Mm-hmm. Like, if you go and watch, he's always like looking over at her, or like, worried about her, like trying to make sure she's okay.
Sean Baker made it like very intentional to put him on camera a lot.
Yeah.
Like, whenever something was happening to Anora, he would always put the camera on Igor and see his reaction.
Him
to it.
looking at Anora, yeah.
And then when they're walking on the pier and he offers his, like, the scarf, and then...
It's the same scarf that he gagged her with. Yeah. It's just like, why the fuck did you bring that?
Yeah.
He can't do anything right to, like, be nice to her, but he is, like...
Yeah, but
Igor
the thing
is a nice guy.
She's... and you see it a lot in the hotel scene, but she's projecting a lot onto him.
Yeah.
She's projecting a lot of her anger with Ivan and her anger with, like, just her sort of view of men. And she was saying, if no one was there, you would have raped me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an interesting scene to me, because I feel like there's a lot of women who think like that, and they think that men are just evil, and like majority of men are evil, and it's just like,
she was like, you have rape eyes.
Yeah. And just like being awful to, someone who seems like he's been treating you well throughout the movie. But she was just projecting a lot onto him that, like, wasn't really true at all. And he's like, no, I wouldn't have raped you. And she was like, why not? And he's like, because I'm not a rapist.
Yeah. He's, like, trying to process, like, what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they end up, like, the final scene is in the car, in Igor's car, and he takes her bags up to the door, and she doesn't get out, and then they she seems to like finally understand that he likes her and he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, well, he gives her, like, whenever she gets married to Ivan, they pick up this massive, like, wedding ring, and then when they first get to the house, they, like, take her ring, and she freaks out about it. It's like, more than anything that they've done, she freaks out about the ring. And, like, right before he drops her off, he, like, shows her, he gives her the ring because he took it from Toros, and was like, don't tell Toros.
Yeah.
And it's just
he's
like,
showing her that
it's such a sweet
he
gesture.
cares about her, and he's gaining nothing from it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to give it to her.
He's driving around his grandma's car.
Yeah.
He's got this very expensive, like, big diamond ring, and he just, like, gives it to her and was like, you know, you wanted that, so I just grabbed it for you.
Yeah. So then she sort of accepts him and starts getting down with him. And he tries to kiss her, and she's very... she sort of freaks out because she's used to being very transactional with men and not having any real intimacy or romance with anyone. And it caught her off guard, and then she broke down crying, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah. The ending, I think, is beautiful. I think it's a beautiful ending, and
I love how much they show, how much Sean Baker expresses without having to say it.
yeah. And, like, a big thing, too, is, like, when she initiates, like, sex with Toros, because he gives her the ring, and I think her instinct is, like, Igor, sorry. She starts having sex with him, and I think that was, like, her instinct to just do that. Mm-hmm. But he clearly likes her, and, like, he's looking at her, like, trying to, like, he's making eye contact with her, which she's, like, throwing her hair around, and I kind of read that as, like, she's trying, like, not to look at him, and then he brings her in for, like, actual, like, genuine affection that's just like nice, like a kiss, and she like starts fighting back on him and like starts hitting him, and then he just like wraps her up, and she just lets out, you know, everything she's been holding in the whole time. Like, she's been trying to stay strong and stay independent, and like, you know, like, none of this shit bothers me, and she's got all this anger toward Ivan and stuff that I think she just lets out in that moment and lets herself be vulnerable and just like lets herself feel what's going on.
Yeah, that scene reminded me of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
It has that same sort of like feeling.
No, I get that. I get that.
Just, it seems like Anora as a character is someone that wants like a romantic connection with someone, but they've been forced to forego that because of her profession and her relationship with Ivan. She was starting to get like, she was sort of letting her guard down and starting to embrace that relationship with Ivan, and then she just felt so embarrassed by what happened with him and how he never cared about her that it put up her guard like 10 times more with Igor, and that's just really sad.
Yeah.
Super sad stuff. So I want to check it out again. I want to see how well it holds up on rewatch, but it's one of my favorites of the year. I think I have it at like number 7 right now, and that could go up, but I don't think it'll go down. I think it's pretty safe there at 7.
Yeah, I want to rewatch it too, because I think right now my biggest gripes are like me not being a fan of the third act, and then rewatchability, which I'm worried about too. Like, just off the first watch, I'm like, you know, I probably wouldn't watch that again because of Ivan's arc, and then not really liking the third act. But I don't know, the comedy could hold up, and I might like just progress me to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, well, my buddy Alex has seen it 3 times now, and he said that it doesn't taint the first act on rewatch.
Okay.
And he still gives it a 5 star, and he's given it 5 stars all 3 times, so it hasn't gone down for him at all. So I definitely want to rewatch it, see how well it holds up.
Yeah, but I'm in the same boat.
But yeah, Nora is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the last thing we need to talk about is the Penguin.
The Penguin? Now you said
I gotta
Penguin.
Go to Wake.
You got more room than you think. You said Penguin season 1. They're only doing this one season, right?
Well, as of now, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a limited series type thing.
Yeah, but like it's done now. So season 1, like the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. When I heard season 1, I thought maybe they would make more at some point.
I
But
mean, they could,
but they've sold it as like this is a
yeah.
one run. Okay, yeah, the Penguin. I'm gonna have trouble with this because it's just so good. I'm gonna just go, yeah, it's fucking good, and like not really be able to express.
Well, it's hard to talk
why
about
it's so
shows because so much happens that you sort of forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'll try and start from like as early on as I can in the show, but Colin Farrell as Penguin is incredible. And I remember when I first saw the Batman trailer and I saw him like in the Penguin makeup, I was like, that's not Penguin. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, that's not Penguin at all. But then you see him and he's so incredible, and he's got this charisma in the show. Like, even though he's doing fucked up shit, and then he'll do this I call it his dirtbag smile. But like he does this smile and it's like, you're a piece of shit, and I can see right through that.
Yeah.
But he carries so much of the show like on him, and he's so good. I love Vic as a character. I love Sophia as a character, which I'm pretty sure is just an original character. It's not?
No.
Sophia Falcone?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I don't think I'm familiar with her at all. This might be
She's
my
in
first.
Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
Oh, I haven't read either of those. But she's great. I don't know if they've changed much about her character, but very welcome addition to the Batman world. And I think I was listening to the pod that you did about the episode 1 of the Penguin, and someone said that it's not very like Gotham, like the visuals like were bad or something. And like I couldn't disagree more. All the places they visited I thought were great and really built the atmosphere that they were in.
Well, episode 1 didn't look great, but I said in that episode, you got to give it time, and episode 1 took place mostly during the day, so yeah, we didn't see a lot of Gotham during the day in the Batman, so like it's not really going to look like the same Gotham, but I didn't think the show looked bad in terms of like bad looking green screen or anything. But I think as the show goes on, it looks better and better. And as episode 8 specifically, I thought looked amazing. There were so many shots of the Gotham like skyline. Because where Penguin is in Crown Point, it's not like in the heart of Gotham. It's like sort of across the bridge. So you can see like Gotham in the background of like most shots.
They're like in the slums, like off to the side almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the visuals are good. Like definitely not anything I would complain about. Are they as good as Greg Fraser's visuals from the movie? No. I mean, I don't know why you would expect them to be.
Mine is just, I'm mainly talking about like the sets of places. Like,
yeah, I think they look good.
Yeah, even in the finale where he's set up at that penthouse.
Yeah. That
looks really, really cool. His apartment, his like bedroom door being this bank vault door was really cool. Like I liked all those little additions of like crazy stuff.
Yeah. I think I don't know if it'll happen because they're just dickheads, but I don't see how it's possible that any other actor wins Best Actor at the Emmys than Colin Farrell. I think this is one of the best performances I've ever seen in movies or TV. It's so good that when I see interviews with Colin Farrell for the Penguin, I'm like, why the hell is Colin Farrell here?
That guy knows a lot.
Where's Oz?
That guy knows a lot about Penguin. Dude.
Bring Oz out.
Yeah.
Like, why is he just a fan of the show? Like, why is he here?
Yeah. He must have talked to Oz beforehand.
Yeah, because I'm pretty good at like seeing through things when I watch a movie. Like someone's in makeup, but I can still see that it's him, you know. But when it comes to the Penguin, I don't even try to like look through the Penguin makeup and see Colin Farrell. Like that's Oz.
Yeah.
Like that's a real person. I think he is skyrocketing up the best villains of all time rankings, like incredibly fast.
Dude,
because it's half his performance. His performance is immaculate. I'd go right now and say he's probably the second best comic book villain performance ever.
I agree with that.
I don't think there's anyone I can think of that is as good.
No, dude, he is like huge levels.
And then on top of his performance, it's the writing of the character.
That's what I was gonna say too, dude. This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but there's a moment in the Penguin show when the Sophia, who hates Penguin, has the opportunity to basically like get back at him, and the episode ends on like that cliffhanger, and I was like, I don't think Sophia is gonna do it, because I think she has more of a soul than Oz does. And you wind up being right by the end of the show. You see how dark he gets by the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And the writing of Penguin as a character in this show is some of the best shit I've ever seen. I'm not super well versed with Penguin because I don't think he really gets used that often in big Batman stories.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I haven't read everything.
He's supposed to just be the slimiest motherfucker you could ever imagine.
Yeah, but I think they make him a bigger threat than what he typically is, with how he can rally people up and basically con anyone into doing damn near anything.
Yeah. When they announced the Penguin, one thing I was worried about was that they were going to fall into the same trap that Sony does when they do a Venom movie or a Morbius movie or a Kraven the Hunter movie where they're taking these villains, giving them a solo project, and it's very complicated to tell a story where the main character is a villain and only a villain.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that.
Yeah, because if you're doing the anti-hero thing, you kind of run the risk of making the character too likable. And when, they eventually go up against the hero, some people are rooting for the villain, which you don't really want.
Yeah, and people make fun of Sony for their Venom movies and their Morbius and all that stuff because it's a solo villain movie, but they just turn them into a hero. And it is worthy of criticism, but it's also... I get why they do that, because it's really hard. It's really hard to make a solo villain project where they're a villain and that's it. And they did it with the Penguin.
Yeah. And
what's interesting is they do all these things that seem like they're going to humanize Oz. In the first episode, he meets Vic, and in the Film Scoop episode, I talked about what I thought would happen with Vic, and that kind of ended up being right. But throughout the show, you're seeing his dynamic with Vic, you're seeing his dynamic with his mom, you're getting flashbacks, you're getting all these things that deepen his character and could humanize him too much. But they do such a great job of explaining who he is, but not making you empathize with him.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that was big was showing him as a kid and what happened to his brothers.
Yeah.
Because when you just look at Oz, you could see him as maybe he's this kid that was he was born with this disability and he got made fun of for it. And the combination of his disability with his weight and the way he looks and how he has big pointy nose and stuff, you can imagine he probably got made fun of as a kid and it turned him bad and it turned him into a villain. But that's not what happened. They present him as he's always just been fucked up.
Yeah.
He killed his brothers, which it's debatable whether he intended to kill them or whether because he locked them in that sewer, but he could have just been doing that for the night and then was going to go let them out in the morning or something, and didn't think of it as like this really dangerous thing, and more of just like a, I'm going to trap you guys in there for the night, go hang out with Ma, come back and get you.
That's how
And then
I
when
read
it started raining, he's a kid, so he didn't think about like, oh, well, they're in a sewer and there's no way out, they're going to drown. Like, you could look at it sort of either way. It's sort of open-ended whether he meant to kill them or not, but he still locked them in there and left them there, and that is insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I read it initially as like, he's a kid and he was just trying to like teach them a lesson because he felt like they were messing with him. Mm-hmm. But there's a shot of him
looking out the window
and seeing all this rain. The mom's commenting on like, there's so much rain, like, do I need to go pick them up? And he's like, nah, they're fine. And you also never see Oz care that they die.
Yeah.
He worries more about his mom being upset and like not wanting to go out.
Yeah.
But he never really cares all that much that they're dead. Mm-hmm. And I think that was purposeful in doing that, like him not really having remorse. And then he kind of, even Kid Oz goes into the like Oz con talk when he's with his mom. He's like, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna get you whatever you want. I'm gonna prove it to you. Like, he starts doing the usual stuff that he does when he's trying to get out of a situation or trying to convince someone of a situation. Like, you see him do it throughout the entire show, and he's doing it as a kid. So I think it's more of like he's kind of always been fucked up.
Yeah. And I love what Sophia does to him in the finale, where she's got him tied up, got his mom tied up, and is sort of like unraveling who he is as a person. Because they've got the cigar clipper on her finger and threatening to cut her finger off. And Sophia wants him to admit that he killed his brothers, and he won't do it. And it's like proving to her that he doesn't care about his mom as much as he says he does. Yeah. And his mom is sort of this vessel for him to... She's sort of this excuse for him to work his way up and get all these things that he wants to have. He wants to be the king of Gotham, have all this money, have this penthouse, have all these things that he wants, but he's justifying it to himself as, well, I promised my ma that I would do it, and it's for
my
her.
mom deserves.
He says it all
nice
the time.
things,
This is all for you. This is all for you, ma. And it's not. It's for him, and he's convinced himself in his head that it's for her, and I loved Sophia sort of unraveling that idea, and that happens towards the end of the show when she has a stroke and turns into a vegetable, and instead of him like just kind of acting like a normal person would and just saying, love you, all the normal things, he was begging her to say that she's proud of him and making it about him.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a pretty clear indication of who he is and like what his dynamic with his mom has actually been this whole time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really out of love. It was more like validating himself.
Yeah. And like that's another really dark, twisted part of the finale. Because she does become a vegetable. And he doesn't keep his promise to her that he would basically kill her if she got that way.
Yeah.
Instead, he takes her to the penthouse and, like, she cries. Like, a tear falls down her face. Obviously, she's, like, brain dead, I reckon.
Yeah.
But a tear falls down her face, and he thinks it's because of like how beautiful the view is from this penthouse that he got her. But in reality, she's in her own like hell, basically.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, I got you all this. Like, I'm the king of Gotham. And, like, goes on about his life. Mm-hmm. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, because he made 2 promises to his mom. He made her a promise when he was young and said, I'm going to get you this penthouse. I'm going to get you all this stuff. And then his mom made him promise, if I ever turn into a vegetable, if I ever am not acting like myself, I need you to, take care of it. And the promise he fulfills is the one he wants and the one he cares about.
One that he benefits from.
Yeah, the one that he benefits from. And he didn't want to do the promise that his mom asked him for, because it's only for her.
Yeah.
It's not for him, so he didn't do it. And he's just an extremely selfish, character. And I myself cried when he killed Vic.
Yeah, dude. I didn't expect that at all.
Well, I
thought
expected it in the first episode. When we got introduced to Vic, I was like, oh, okay, they're creating this character that we're gonna grow to like over the show, and then in the finale he's gonna kill him. And I figured that was what's gonna happen. But like as every episode went on, and as episode 8 went on, and it was about to end, and I was like, damn, maybe I was wrong, and he's gonna keep Vic around as like his sidekick.
Yeah.
And how Batman has Robin, and he has Penguin has Vic.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually like cool. And then, dude,
yeah.
I keep seeing videos come up on Twitter of that scene or pictures, and I just get so sad. Like,
dude, it's horrible. And then like, I thought what we were gonna see was a steady decline in Vic's morale, basically, and he was gonna eventually be pulled to like not Penguin's level, because I don't think anyone's as evil as Penguin at this point, but like he was gonna he's gonna become a thug, basically. He was gonna lose his innocence and lose his heart, but he never really does. Like he does kill some people, but like it's all like necessity, really.
Bad people and things he had to do.
Yeah. So, and he, even the worst guy he kills, the one that was like, give me money or I'll kill you, he shoots him and is like freaking out about it. Like he goes into a panic. It fucks with them the rest of the episode. And dude, when Oz kills him and he's struggling and he just keeps on going, Oz, and he's like trying to, dude. And then Oz fucking takes his wallet after he kills Vic. He's been there the whole time. Takes his wallet.
Takes his money.
Takes the money out.
Throws his driver's license in the water.
And then just walks away. Like nothing happened.
The most inhumane thing you can possibly do.
Yeah.
After killing him. I mean...
So I'll be honest with you, and like, this is what I think is incredible about the show. You see things like Riddler destroying the city, and like Joker blowing up warehouses and stuff like that, like blowing up the hospital. You see all this carnage and destruction in superhero movies. But with Penguin, they flesh out these characters so much over the course of the show that like him killing Vic feels like the most evil thing like a supervillain has done that I've seen.
Yep.
Like, you got Thanos, who killed like half the universe.
This feels worse. This feels more fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like him burning a mother and son together. Him killing Vic. Him fucking
sending Sophia back to Arkham.
Dude, that's
like
what
she was content with
thing.
dying. Like she was happy. Like maybe happy's not the right word, but she was okay with him killing her. But she was like tortured in Arkham.
Yeah, whatever he could have done to fix a situation, and like get back at someone, he does the absolute worst possible thing to that person.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to at all. He didn't have to send her back. He could have killed her. Everything would have been framed on her and it would have been fine. But he sent her back to Arkham, which is the worst. Like, she couldn't think of anything worse than being in Arkham. That's what destroyed her, like, to her core.
Yeah. Yeah, so they did a great job, like, making him a fucking villain.
Yeah.
He is the scum of the earth. I mean,
I've never seen a villain like
now I see his face
like
and
that.
I get fucking mad.
Yeah.
Like, there aren't many villains where that happens.
Yeah.
Where I see your face and now I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah. And now when he does his like dirtbag smile,
I'm just gonna be like Batman fucking Patrick.
Yeah, there's even more
dude.
like gravity behind it.
Beat his fucking ass.
Yeah. Like in the Batman when he does the
to his own.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Oh my god, you fucking piece of shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Seeing that now, knowing like what he did to Vic, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Everything involving Penguin now, I'm just like, you fucking goddamn piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's horrible. And
then thinking about episode 3 with Vic and his sort of girlfriend that went to California, wanted him to come with her, and he almost went and decided not to, and decided to stay with Oz.
The lunch scene when he's asking about Vic's dad and like, you know, talking Vic up and talking about how like great his dad was. He's like, you're a good guy, you know, your dad was a good man. All that was fake.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't fucking care about Vic.
No.
Or do you
but
think
also,
he did and then just like...
Well, that's another thing is like, I've been thinking about if he planned on killing Vic the whole time, or if it was something he realized once Sophia started using his mom as leverage on him, and he started to realize that, sort of like Neil McCauley in Heat, don't keep anyone around you can't walk out on in 30 seconds or less. Like, these Vic and his mom are two things that people can use to get to him, and that he needs to not have any family, any connections. And is that something that, like, once he saw that with his mom, that he realized he had to do to Vic, or if it was the whole time? I'm not exactly sure on that.
The problem is, like...
Because it seems like... It just seems like he really did like Vic for a lot of the show. And all the times he was like, just you and me, Vic. And, you know...
Yeah, but
he could have been lying out of his ass.
That's what I'm saying. We see
but
him bullshit so much throughout the show that, like, almost nothing he says is ever true.
Yeah. But I also felt like he may have been using Vic as a means of giving himself the feeling of being a big brother again, and him sort of feeling guilty for what he did to his brothers, and having Vic sort of fill that void. And
there's that, and then there's also like the very first episode when he's talking about Rex and how he was this gangster, and people, like, you know, were, you know, they were crazy about him, they were loyal to him, you know, they thought he was like a hero basically, but he's really just a gangster. And I think he was like trying to find his own version of that, and then once he got it on a larger scale with like the army that he raised, I don't think he needed Vic anymore.
Yeah, that was the thing, is like, from episode 1 he never needed Vic. Like, in episode 1, he had people working for him that, like, anything he was getting Vic to do, he could have just gotten any of those guys to do.
But they didn't, like, it wasn't, like, loyalty like what Vic had. It wasn't until Link turned on people that he had, like, a true, like, once he got Bliss, I think, is when he had actual loyalty.
Right.
Like, people that would do whatever Oz said.
I also sort of saw it as Oz has a reputation. Like, everyone in Gotham knows who Oz is, and, like, he saw Vic as this clean slate that he could sort of he could make Vic think he's like the man.
Yeah.
And Vic doesn't have that perspective that everyone else has, and like, my reputation, that thing.
Yeah. That's something Logan asked me. She's like, "Why do you think they gave Vic stutter?" And I was like, "I think it's just a thing to match. Like Penguin has his limp, and it's like a thing that makes you look weaker than what you actually are. And I think that's why he was kind of drawn to Vic."
Yeah, I mean, they connect in that way, but I also feel like for some reason when someone has a stutter, it just makes them seem more innocent, and you care more about them.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that, like, if you want to feel worse about Oz killing Vic, give him a stutter. Like, it's just, that's the way it is. Like, I don't know.
No, I get that, because it's almost like it's kind of like a kiddie thing almost.
Yeah, sort of.
It kind of makes you feel like younger almost.
Yeah.
But like when they're even at the lunch scene that I was talking about, which is an incredible scene, like the waiter tries to finish his sentence for him and like rush him through, and Oz tells him not to do that and freaks out. And he's like, "You wait until he says what he wants."
Yeah.
And he's like, "They're here for you."
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of like the same thing with like his limp slowing him down, kind of, and people not taking him serious because of it. And then Vic's got the stutter. I don't know, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And what's great about the show is that, like, there isn't any Batman fan service, which I love Batman, but it would have been like a little disingenuous to just have there be a ton of Batman references throughout. And there's not really any fan service of any kind. I mean, there's like, if you're a comic book reader, you recognize some of the people in the show, Sophia Falcone and, Alberto Falcone, Johnny Vitti. Like, these are people in the comics, but it's not fan service. Like, it's completely just trying to tell a good story, and that's it. And all the things that happen make sense, and they don't feel stupid, and they don't feel like a bailout.
Yeah.
And like him killing Vic didn't just feel like some random thing that happened just for shock value. It completely makes sense why Oz would want to do it.
Yeah, it kind of pushes him the last bit into this dark downward spiral.
It's like this final. Well, he got so much blood on his hands throughout the season. All these people he's killed, all these things he's done to get to the top, and killing Vic is like the final step to making sure all his ends are tied. And
it's like
because Vic knows everything. Vic saw all the stuff he did, and like in his head, Vic could turn on him, and he has all this information on him.
Yeah.
And if he kills Vic, no one knows anything. I mean, I guess Sophia knows some stuff, but she's in Arkham, and no one's really gonna believe her.
Yeah, she's like, they think she's crazy.
Yeah.
It's also like the last like piece of like humanity that he has in like is Vic, and he kills him to go and be the this big drug kingpin that rules like mercilessly over Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And there is like, you get a little bit of fan service. Like in the final episode, you see him holding the cane and top hat.
Yeah. He doesn't put it on though, does he?
He doesn't put it on. You just see him with it.
Maybe they're implying he'll have it on in part
and
two.
He is wearing like a very traditional like penguin suit. He's got the fur around the collar of his suit, and then you get the bat signal, and then the letter from Catwoman.
Mm-hmm. Which was awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, is Batman gonna have both the Falcones on his ween, dude?
Dude.
Is that what's gonna happen?
No time for that. All right.
Yeah.
No, we got fucking justice to find.
We got fucking vengeance,
we got some
dude.
penguins to fucking beat ass.
We've got some.
We got some fucking business to handle.
We got some diaries to fill in.
Yeah. Thursday.
I was just about to do that, dude. It's Thursday.
But yeah, I guess they're implying he'll be wearing the top hat in part 2, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They did say, also, my only real thing I didn't like about the entire season was Maroney. I like the casting. I like Clancy Brown as Maroney. It's more so just the writing and what they did with him, because Maroney's a big player in the Batman world.
Yeah.
He's as big as Falcone, really. And they kind of did him dirty, and he died of a heart attack.
Yeah. It seems like he also wasn't really a big strategist in anything. It seems like he kind of fell straight into like traps all the time.
And the way he got out of prison made me so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't make any sense. What happened was Oz like paid a guard to go kill Maroney in his cell, and then Maroney killed the guard and got his keys and then just left.
Yep.
Like, that's not how that works. There's so many other people that work there that would see you. There's so many cameras. Like, you can't just because you have keys doesn't mean you would just be able to leave.
Yeah.
You can't get out of Shawshank just by pulling a key out of a guard's pocket. Like,
you can't sneak a file into a cake and then bust out, dude.
yeah, they didn't even show, like, maybe if they showed his whole breakout and, like, how he did it, and if he did it in a very smart way and, like, avoided people and hit blind spots and cameras, like, that could have made sense and been a cool scene to show that. Also show how smart he is, too.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But they just cut to him in his cell, to him at home.
Yep.
Just because he has the guard's keys. Like, that's dumb. I didn't like that. And I didn't like that he died of a heart attack. But other than that, I think that's it. I think I loved everything else.
Yeah, I do like Clancy a lot. It did seem like he joined Sophia pretty quick. With all the bad blood they had between the Falcones and Maronis.
Yeah, but
and then
at
like,
the same time, he really only hated, like, Carmine. And once Carmine's been taken out, like, he didn't really have anything specifically... Like, he didn't really have beef with Sophia specifically. So if she comes to him and is like, hey, we both hate Oz, let's just go kill Oz.
Yeah,
like,
but then she, like, sends him almost like a pawn to go get Oz. It seems like...
Yeah, but that's kind of what he wanted. He wanted to find Oz.
It just seems like Maroni wouldn't be the type to actually go, like, raid a base.
Probably not.
Like, you bring Oz to him. Guys. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I do love Clancy, and he is a fucking enormous man, so the physicality works.
Yeah. But they did say that when the Penguin ended, you would know... They said pretty much, like, you would know what direction the Batman Part 2 is going in. And I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a load of malarkey.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how much of a role you think Penguin would play in the Batman 2.
Well, Colin Farrell said he's been told he has 5 or 6 scenes, which is the same amount he had in Part 1. Mm-hmm. So, I'd say he'll have a similar amount of screen time as he did in Part 1. Maybe like a tad more. Now that Falcone's out of the picture, he'll probably replace a lot of the Falcone screen time.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not the main villain. And I still think it's going to be Hush is the main villain. But they're also going to introduce Harvey Dent. But he won't be... I don't think he'll be Two-Face in the movie. I think he'll stay Harvey Dent the whole movie.
Yeah. That's something I was looking for, is when Oz was in the courthouse, I was like, are one of these name tags Harvey Dent? But I didn't remember seeing anything.
That would have been... God, I don't think
they've... Because you got Bella Real, like, her name tag's there, but then that gives you some freedom. Like, you establish his, like, he's, like, a part of this, like, the council. And he says that Bella Real is forming a anti-corruption, like, exactly.
Sector,
So I thought
is Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
But, so, they're sort of teasing Harvey Dent a little bit, and it would have been cool if we could have gotten, like... Oz bumps into Harvey Dent at the courthouse and he like introduces himself, but they haven't casted Harvey Dent yet, so that's like, it's a good thing because they may have just gotten some guy to be Harvey Dent and then have to stick with him for part 2. So
That's
I'm
why I
glad
thought
that they're just kind of like leaving it up to Matt to cast whoever
Yeah.
he wants, and
That's why I thought the name tag thing would be pretty cool. It was like, yeah.
or just drop his name. Just say like, yeah, Bella Real's formed a new anti-corruption, sector with
Some fella named Javi Dent.
yeah, some new guy named Harvey Dent is
Yeah.
heading it, and that would have been cool. But it looks like that's the direction they're going. But there was also a small detail, and some people have been talking about it in the court scene. There, let me see if I can.
I knew there was some stuff in the court scene that I missed.
Well, it's just the curtains on the walls look like owls. So,
Ooh.
I'd say it's intentional because it's a court and they put owl shapes in them. I feel like that's not just a coincidence. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to use the Court of Owls in the saga.
Yeah, it could just
It
be
could
a
just
little,
be like a little nod.
Yeah,
like
a little,
Court of
little dick
Owls.
tug. Yeah, Court
Court of
owls.
Yeah. I do think it was intentional, but I really don't see a world where Matt Reeves doesn't use the Court of Owls in some story somewhere, whether it's a spin-off show, part 2, part 3, whatever it is too perfect. Matt Reeves loves the villains that are about the corruption of Gotham,
Yes,
and the Court of Owls are the seed. They're the roots of corruption in Gotham, and they're grounded. They're just dudes in masks. They're not. It's not some big fantastical thing he wouldn't want to do.
Kind of.
They're
The Talons are like zombies.
I do not remember the Talons being zombies.
I mean, they're not zombies, but like they like come back to life, or like they like don't feel pain or something. Something's weird.
Well, you don't
about
have
them.
to do it like step like word.
Yeah,
for
you don't
word.
have to copy it. I'm just saying like the Talons are like some kind of. I really think that they're people that died and got brought back to life.
I do not remember that section of the Court of Owls.
Because they're like they have all the Talons in like stasis, and they can release Talons like as they go.
No, well, they would. He would probably change that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool to have this like unstoppable villain, basically, kind of like how Bane was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing he did really phased him.
Yeah.
And he just kept coming at him.
Yeah.
But do you think that if they did a Court of Owls movie, do you think it would benefit from having a Court of Owls 1 and 2?
No. I think what would be cool with the Court of Owls is sort of if they did a twist on Nightfall and had the Court of Owls. They have Batman find out who the Court of Owls is, and then they send his rogues gallery after him to protect themselves from him, and he has to the whole movie is him one by one beating villain after villain, fighting fucking Penguin, fighting Bane, fighting all these rogues galleries to get to the Court of Owls at the end of the film.
So his
sort of
rogues
like
gallery,
the episode of SpongeBob where he's
the 4 floors of fear.
Yeah, the 4 floors of fear. Yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like his common, I'll say, rogues gallery, whatever's depicted, would take place at the Talons almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be cool because the Nightfall storyline is what I just said, except Bane is sending all these rogues gallery after him.
Yeah,
and I feel like if you just replaced Bane with the Court of Owls, that would be a ridiculous part 3.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
That would be fucking crazy. But yeah, I guess that's all my thoughts.
How rewatchable do you think the show is? That's something else I was thinking about too.
I think it's rewatchable.
I think it is too.
I could see
maybe
myself...
not the finale. Watching Vic's tough to get through.
That's. Oh, dude. Normally, character deaths don't really get to me.
Vic was just such a sweetheart, man.
I just really liked Vic, and the way they executed it was just also super sad. It wasn't like a shot to the head out of nowhere. It was like choking him and him realizing, like him asking Oz to stop, and like, oh
Yeah. That's
It's so
also
fucking
crazy. Like
sad.
Oz could have shot him,
yeah,
but instead choked him to death with his bare hands.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just I'd probably spare myself and not watch the finale if I did rewatch the Penguin, but yeah, I guess there's not like too much. I assumed that the finale would have some big reveal, like the introduction of Harvey Dent or something, or maybe like a some news clip of like Hush or something, and it would be something we really wanted to like talk about and have theories on, but they sort of strayed away from that, and it stuck pretty rigidly to just the Penguin.
Yeah.
And
I thought we were going to get some cool stuff, some cool Easter eggs when we went to Arkham with Sophia.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to see some cool like characters, but then I was like, it makes sense. She would like, there's a women's wing, like a women's section of the prison, so she would be there. I was like, we might see some cool like of like the female rogues, but I don't think they used any characters that I know of.
They did Magpie, but she's a small character.
Yeah, I've never even heard of Magpie.
Yeah, so it ended in, it was like there was nothing really like new introduced that is super exciting that I feel like we need to talk about. It sort of just like wraps up everything the show's been about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. It puts Oz at the top. The final shots, the fucking bat signal. That final shot, dude. With like the red glow on the Penguin's building, it reminds me of like a comic book cover. Like,
yeah.
It looks fucking good.
Boing.
Yeah.
I was fully erect the whole time.
That shit was fucking awesome. So before too long, we should be getting some casting news on part 2. That's apparently the script's done, and they're, should be. It's supposed to be filming early next year, so that's could be a couple months away if you look at it like that.
Yeah.
If they film in like March.
This message is for Matt Reeves. Keep it up. Keep going. You're doing it. You're out here doing God's work, and I appreciate it.
Yep. But yeah, I guess that's it for the episode. I checked this week to see what was coming out. Not much. I do want to see Heretic.
Heretic, I did see people like it was on Letterboxd, like the popular thing.
Yeah.
I do. I've
been avoiding information on it because people said it was good at the festivals, and I just don't want to know anything. And I want to go.
I saw the one trailer, and trailers. I haven't really seen any trailers since then of Heretic, and it was kept it very vague. I'll say. Cool. Obviously, they do like the trailer 2 probably and the 3 where they tell you the whole fucking movie. But
yeah, it'll be the final scene.
That first trailer was. I saw like I don't know what the fuck's going on. It just seemed interesting. Like, weird stuff was happening.
I want to check out Heretic. I want to rewatch Anora. I'm starting Peaky Blinders again.
Ooh.
That's the biggest show I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Since I finished The Sopranos, that's now like at the top. The show everyone talks about that I need to watch. And there's a movie coming out soon, like next year, I think.
Yeah.
So I
remember we planned to watch all the Peaky Blinders in time for the movie. And then we just didn't watch Peaky Blinders.
And now we can still finish it before the movie. So yeah, I watched like half of the first episode last night and got tired, but I'm gonna start pounding through that.
I'm gonna binge through season 2 of Arcane, dude.
Have fun, sir.
Whoop whoop. We're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot a lot about Arcane, dude. I kind of booted up the first episode,
Yeah,
and
so
I was
did
like, I was like, I slowly started piecing together the characters' like names, because I felt like it was forever ago that I watched Arcane, but it's fucking awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, dude. The first episode of the season 2 is so cool. They do this sequence where like the animated characters are like there, and then the background is all black and white, like hand drawn things. It's really cool.
I don't know what the disconnect is for me with Arcane.
Oh, dude, it's because you don't like men and I do. So it
Oh no,
works for
you're
me.
wrong there, pal. I do like men.
Well, then you should like the show. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I don't know.
You might be
have
straight. You might be
Zero
lying to the
interest
people.
in watching Arcane,
Then you have zero interest in men.
but I watch Little Women.
Even it's Exhibit A to you have an interest in women.
But Little Women is a gay thing.
It's got women in it.
Also,
I keep that away from me.
side question, I guess, to the Scoopers. I was somehow the question came up, but I was trying to think of the gayest movie I've seen, and I don't mean gay as in a movie about gay people, because I'm not talking about Call Me by Your Name, Brokeback Mountain. I'm talking about like a movie that is for women.
Mm-hmm.
What's the gayest movie you've seen? And I was trying to think, and what came to mind was Little Women, Portrait of a Lady on Fire came up. Pretty gay.
That's pretty gay.
Pretty feminine. But I don't really know of anything else that I would consider like for women that I've seen. Because I don't watch the sex stuff. I don't watch like 50 Shades of Grey and
Yeah, I
all
haven't
that.
seen any of that. Movies specifically geared towards women that I have seen. Oh, dude, I got mine. The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh yeah, you're a homo.
Dude. That's why I like Arcane, dude.
Yeah, but I want to watch The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So
Yeah, fuck that shit, dude. Fuck that noise. No, I saw A Fault in Our Stars, and there's another fucking cancer movie that everyone freaks out about. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's...
Is it the one with like one of the Sprouses?
I don't think so. It's got Mandy Moore in it.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Mandy Moore?
Yeah.
You made that up.
No, that's her name.
I don't know who that is.
Right now I'm running through them thinking about stuff she's been in. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen anything.
Sounds made up.
Could be.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah. But anyways, that's it for this week. Pretty solid episode.
I think so.
Pretty solid episode length. Not 3.5 hours, but considering the amount of stuff we had to talk about, pretty good length.
Yeah. We're back to our
Average size, you know?
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a great
also,
personality.
it was my boy Evan's birthday yesterday. 2 days ago. So shout out to Evan. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Evan.
Loyal scooper.
Yep.
Listens to every episode. So shout out to him. And we'll see you next week for likely a Gladiator episode. Before the Gladiator 2 episode. But we'll see you next week on the film Scoop.